If a container running in your cluster quietly crawled out of its sandbox and took over the host machine and no one was there to see it, did it even happen? The answer is yes, it definitely happened. My name is Kat, and this is Sysdig YouTube, where we help you stay secure the right way. And today we're talking about serious container escape vulnerabilities in one of the most fundamental tools of the cloud-native world, runc. So let's jump right in. So here's the Cliff Notes version. The open source tool runc, which you may know from Docker and Kubernetes fame, as well as the build tool BuildKit, just had some big security flaws disclosed. These are being called the Leaky Vessels vulnerabilities. Now, they're a problem because they allow a container to break out of its isolation and access or even modify the host file system, which breaks isolation, one of the core promises of containers. So let's look at some of the big ones. The first one is CVE 2024-21626. In certain runc versions, a leaked file descriptor inside runc could allow a container's working directory to be set to a host namespace path, giving it access to the host file system. After that one, we also have another 3 CVEs, which have way too many numbers in them for me to say them out loud, but will be named somewhere on screen. These affect BuildKit and the build process. For example, symlink race conditions or improper source validation during mounts can give containers write access to host files or allow arbitrary deletions of host files. What's extra scary is these aren't just theoretical. They affect widely used runtimes and build systems, meaning many environments may be vulnerable. So why does this matter right now? Well, if your container isolation fails, an attacker who lands in a container might pivot into the host, compromise other containers, steal data, escalate privileges, you name it. And in Kubernetes clusters especially, this kind of vulnerability can compromise entire nodes or multi-tenant setups. Because tools like runc and BuildKit are foundational, the blast radius is pretty huge. So what can you do today to protect yourself? 1, patch immediately. Ensure both runc and BuildKit are updated. 2, trust your images. Let's go ahead and give unvetted containers a pass. Prefer known good registries and audit Docker files, especially in build pipelines. 3, limit your privileges. Don't give containers more access than they need. Avoid privileged containers, unnecessary mounts, or tight file system permissions. And finally, monitor runtime. Use tools that can detect odd container behavior, like file access to host paths, unexpected mounts, or containers running with elevated writes. For example, Sysdig provides our customers with rules for detecting symlink creation over sensitive files or privileged container launches. A few more best practices: make build pipelines part of your security scope. Vulnerabilities in BuildKit aren't just runtime issues, but build time risks. Operationalize your monitoring. Alerts are necessary, but you have to make sure you have the process to act on them. Maintain visibility into what containers are doing. Logs, file accesses, mounts, processes. Runtime visibility is your first and final line of defense. And finally, AAC, baby. Always assume compromise. Design your environment so even if a container is malicious, the host remains protected. Least privilege, segmentation, and quick remediation are your best friends on this one. So, to sum up, the Leaky Vessels vulnerabilities in runc and BuildKit show how container isolation can be broken if foundational tools aren't secured. And if you're running containers, this matters. This was a quick breakdown, but there's way more detail in our blog. I'll link it down below. As always, thanks for watching and stay secure out there.